Hi you guys, I am here today with something a little different. I apologize for the bold makeup. I just got through recording like 3 other videos, so yeah. And if you're wondering why I have the same shirt on in this video, it's because I did like multiple videos in this day, and there's something that has been on my mind for a while now. Like, I've been contemplating making this video just because I know it's a lot of sickos out there. I didn't want to give any sickos out there any idea of an horrible thing to do to someone else, but just so other people could be aware that things like this happen, I decided to go ahead and share it with you guys. So this story takes place, I want to say, when it was when I was a teenager. I was about 16 or 17. I was a virgin at the time. So me and 2 of my sisters had, I'm not sure if anyone else was there, but I think it was just me and 2 or 3 of my sisters at the beach, and we were there having a fun time, minding our business. It was a really hot day, so it was like a bunch of people at the beach on that day. We were playing alone. I can't remember what we were playing. We were probably like dumping each other or something, because we were like attractive females. Men would always come up to us, talk to us, play with us, all of that. And this particular day, like at the moment, no one was coming up to us, and we was having the time of our life. So there was these guys, they were like playing a game. Believe it or not, like, you guys, this is the weirdest beach game you guys probably ever heard, but it actually looked fun. So they were throwing like keys. They had like a bunch of keys on a ring, and they were like throwing it back and forth and reaching down, dumping down in the water, getting the key ring and all of that. So it looked fun. We sat there, we watched them, then we went back to playing. So when they got done with that game, they just came over to us, talking to us, mingling with us, and some of them was teenagers and some of them were grown men, like grown men. And then all of a sudden, I think one of the boys had dumped my sister, and then from there, you know, we were teenagers, so we just started a whole game, and it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna downplay that. So we were playing and everything, and one of the taller guys, he was about 6'2" to 6'4". He was really tall, like basketball player tall. Now this was one of the grown men. I want to say he was probably between the ages of 22 and 25. And like I said before, I was a teenager at the time. I was like 16 or 17. So he was talking to me. My sisters was talking with the other guys and the other people. He pulled me aside and said he wanted to talk to me. Mind you, the whole time we are in the water. So I'm probably about, I'm 5'2", and the water is probably right underneath my breast at this point. That's as deep as I am comfortable with going, just because I'm short, and at the time I did not know how to swim. So we went over to the side, and it wasn't even that far. Like, I want to say we were about 20 feet away from my sister and them, and we were off to the right. But the thing is, it was not much people on the right side of the beach. So we're over there talking, and all of a sudden he grabbed me, he dumped me, I splashed him. We're playing friendly, and he was trying to talk to me, and I kind of, you know, gave him the cold shoulder because he was a lot more older than what I was used to dating. I was only 16 or 17 at the time. I believe I was 16 though. But so I was not used to talking to like grown men, and if they were grown, maybe like 18, but like 24, that was like pushing it. So he kept asking for my number and everything, and I came up with all type of excuses like my phone is off, this, that, and the other, and just giving him the cold shoulder. And I just wanted to talk to him as not a friend, because I didn't know the guy, but I just wanted to have small talk with him and everyone else. But he insisted that he pulled me to the side. So we're playing, splashing each other, and all of a sudden he like grabbed me, like no lie, he grabbed me by my waist, and he was like walking back slowly. And I'm like, okay, I really didn't look at it as a problem right then and there. He had me by my waist. And then when when the water got to like about here, I'm like, come on, let's go back, like we're going too far, I can't swim. And he still was just walking back, and I'm trying my best. I got kind of serious with the guy. I'm like, let me go, like I can't swim, pulling me deep. And he was like, I got you. And I said, I don't feel comfortable with being back this far, because I just kept telling him, I can't swim, let me go. The guy would not let me go for nothing. So he grabbed me, he just going back. And at this point, I'm pretty sure the water is over my head, but he had me by the waist, holding me up. So it never went over my head. But if he let me go, the water would be well over my head, but not for him, because he was like much taller than me, And whole time I'm tussling with this man, telling him to let me go. My sister and them is on a whole other. They were busy talking and mingling with the other people that I don't even think they noticed what was going on. So this is where it get a little difficult. If you are under the age of, I'm gonna say 16, this will be a good time for you to exit the video. But before you leave, I'm gonna tell you, don't trust anyone. And if someone tries to pull you into the deep, do not let them scream. That's one of the things I regret, not screaming. But to be honest, even if I screamed, because everyone was far over to the left, I don't think anyone would have heard me. But it would have been good if I would have. And it probably was meant for me not to, because he probably would have let me go and things could have got ugly, or I could have drowned, to make a long story short. So yeah, it's gonna get a bit explicit to say. So if you are under the age of 16, please exit this video now. So once he got me to the deep, I'm really not comfortable with saying this, like, you're not gonna cry, like, for real, you are not fit to cry. So once he got me to the deep, he got to feeling on me. I don't even know if I want to get into details, like it's that traumatic to me, but I have to. If I'm going to tell this story all the way, I have to get into details. So he started feeling down there with his hands and stuff, and it's really hard, like even to just get the words out is like really difficult for me, so just bear with me. So he was putting his finger on places, like, you guys, I have never really had this hard of a time saying something like I am now. Like, I know what it feels like to be choked up, because that's exactly what I'm experiencing right now. Not today, you're not gonna cry. But anyway, he got to feeling places with his hand and stuff, and he pulled my swimwear over to the side. Oh my god, like, you guys, I just feel like I'm gonna melt right now. Like, it's like I'm reliving the moment telling it, but I'm only going to tell this just so you guys can be aware of these type of people. So he moved my swimwear at the bottom over to the side, and he took his, oh my god, he took his private part out or whatever, and got the rubbing in places and stuff, and he tried to force himself in, moved it to the side, tried to force himself in, and thankfully, thank God, I was a virgin at the time. He forced and prodded, he tried his best. Like, he was so persistent trying to, Jesus, my heart is like racing right now, to try to enter into me, to say. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't fitting, thank God. And he did that for probably 15 minutes. And after that, I guess he kind of gave up. And mind you, there was nothing I could do because I couldn't swim. So I just had to sit there and go through it. Like, and then I was yelling, but I was more so focused on trying to convince him to talk to him and try to convince him to take me back to shore, or you know, at least where the water is at a safe position. So in between me yelling and calling for my sisters, I was trying to convince this man to take me back. So he tried for a whole 15 minutes, and God must have been with me because it didn't go in. He tried and tried and tried and tried, and it just wouldn't go in, thank God. But even though nothing went in, nothing, just by touching it and rubbing against it and him putting his finger places, like I still consider it sexual assault, like to the fullest. So thank God he gave up after like 15 whole minutes, 15, 20 minutes, like literally. And he started walking back ashore with me. Now one thing I am glad about is that he didn't just drop me, because I would have definitely drowned. No one could hear me. No one was right there. I would have died more than likely. So luckily he did walk me back to shore. And the moment I got like to here with the water, I punched the man. I kicked away from, like I kicked him and kicked off against him, and I ran. I don't want to say run because I couldn't really run in water, if that makes any sense, but I got away from that man as fast as I could, like as fast as I could. I also thank God that he didn't try to get aggressive back with me, because if he wanted to chase me or catch up with me, he definitely could have, because he had longer legs because he was taller. But he did end up like actually passing me up, but thank God he wasn't coming after me. So he caught up, he kind of went as I'm moving fast, you know, walking through the water. It's hard treading or walking through water, and it just felt like I was going through slow motion, like it just felt like forever. So he kind of passed me up and he beat me to shore because his legs was much longer, he knew how to swim, and he was much taller and all of that. So him and his guys, they just kind of left fast. Like they were already where the locker rooms was. By the time I got out of the water, like I couldn't see them no more. They were gone. They didn't wash up in the outside shower or nothing. I'm not sure if they went into the locker rooms, because at the entrance thing you can't really tell, so I don't really know. I just know they went around where the locker room was at, so I don't know if they left then or if they went in the locker slash bathroom or not. But you guys, I'm not even sure if I told my sisters. I have to ask them, because I'm not even sure if I even told them. I was just so hysterical. I didn't even call the police. Like I was scared. Like I know this sounds crazy, but like to explain that situation, like right now, even like years later, it's hard for me to say it. So calling the police, like, and to explain it over and live it over right after it happened, that would have been like so tough. However, if he would have entered me, I wouldn't have had a choice. I would have went on and called the police, but because he didn't, I just hysterical. I was ready to go. I went up to my sisters crying. They probably didn't even know why I was crying, but I don't know. Probably couldn't even tell I was crying because I had water all over me. But if they would have been paying attention to my body language, they definitely would have known that I was crying. So I was just so ready to go. Like I just got my things, got my sisters, and we left. I did not see the guy on the way out. He just was gone. So yeah, that's my story time on how I was forced to be drowned or raped. Like you guys, you have to watch your surroundings at all times. And from my experience, I learned not to like talk to a man alone. Like always make sure you have someone. Like don't walk off from everyone else, because sometimes people are so busy communicating, playing, and all of that stuff that they're not really aware of what's going on with you and someone else. And there are some sickos, some lowlifes who will try to take advantage of you, young, old, whatever. just make sure you're never alone. And that's like a big thing in my life. Like even right now to this day, like I do not like to be by myself. Like I always try to make sure I have at least one other person there with me, or you know, like unless it's the daytime. If it's nighttime, I definitely don't like to be alone. Sometimes I'm okay with being alone in the daytime, even though this event occurred in the daytime. But just never be alone if you can help it. And if someone wants to pull you out to the side, if you don't know them, don't do it. Don't. Unless it's like a lot of people around. Other than that, don't do it. So yeah, I really hope I taught you guys something, someone, somewhere. I hope I definitely learned my lesson, but I hope I could, you know, open your eyes as to not trust so easily, and to not let someone pull you off to the side or try to take advantage of you. And I hope I saved someone from being raped. And I hope I informed you guys that just because it's daytime, just because there's a lot of people around, doesn't mean that pedophiles or whatever you want to call them, sickos, rapists, doesn't mean that they won't try to take advantage of you. So be very aware. Daytime people around or not, just be very aware of your surroundings, your situations that you put yourself in or that someone tried to put you in. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, bye.